Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to your November 2023 Psychic Scope. Thanks for stopping by today. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell if you like what you hear. So, I want to just start off by saying the intuitive hits that I'm getting here is, um, gosh, all of a sudden there's rainbows that are flying in, and then I'm getting the vision that I might be staring through a skylight, and it's very much dreamscape, night sky. This feels like a child's um, storybook to me. And it's funny because I'm getting like a darker version of Candyland. Also, that could be a really good book as well. And I'm also getting that there is something regarding like fun house, like a haunted house, Halloween, just very, very fun, spirited Halloween. For some of you, I'm picking up on some gothic stuff. And I think literally some of you have, I don't know if some of you have just talked about becoming gothic or make a joke about painting your cabinets black. But it all feels really, really fun and lighthearted. So I do feel this is for some of you Sagittariuses that are creative, or maybe some of you have creative partners as well. And I'm just getting like, go ahead and feed into that. There is always a market for the darker kind of whimsical side of life. And for some of you, this could even be going into either have working or worked with a mortician in a funeral home, or some of you also are looking at becoming mortician. For some of you, this could also be like medical examiner, or the coroner, for instance. So it does feel that if this is the stuff that your heart is calling you towards, go ahead. It is socially acceptable to do those things. Somebody has to do them, right? So I'm really getting the green light for some of you. Some of you also that are running a little bit with, I just want to say, the lower vibrational energies, because I barely want to touch on them. You know what I'm talking about. You know who you are. Also, you might want to just keep yourselves in check if you're messing around with dark magic, any sort of dark energy stuff. It's not going to behove you in any sort of way. So, with that being said, love and light to everyone. And magical, I get like magical mystery tour type of stuff. Um, some of you, I think, are thinking about relocating to possibly like New Orleans, or someplace like Salem, someplace that some of this stuff is um, kind of marketable as well. And also, I'm just picturing that either somebody's dream is to buy a church and remodel it into a home, or some of you have actually purchased that, actually living in it, getting ready to remodel. And for some of you, I'm feeling like there's like a church that sits next to your property as well. And I don't know if it feels like it's up for sale. So some of you might be nudged to kind of look into that. For some of you, this could also be the neighboring lot next to you that is maybe going under foreclosure or something like that. So that's the intuitive hits I'm getting for you today, Sagittarius. And it sounds kind of fun. It sounds intriguing. So let's draw some cards here for you today. Um, the energy is really high. I'm getting settled into my new office, and the energy just feels really high, and it feels great. And it feels like some of you actually want to start celebrating the holidays earlier maybe decorating, and do it. Go ahead and do it, because it's that nice ambiance of light. It's that magic of all of the light colors. It's almost like swimming in all of the laws of existence and walking in different timelines. You know, the holidays are, of course, nostalgic for a lot of people. But, you know, I didn't grow up in the 60s. I wasn't born until mid-70s. But the 1950s, the 1960s, that's like nostalgic to me. And I wasn't even there in that time period, you know, at least in this lifetime. So, you know, we talk about whatever we want to on this channel, and I'm recording, so that's just what came up. So let's see. First card I have for you is the number 7. It's also the 10 of Hearts. This feels as if there's a lot of sorrow, and that feels like it doesn't even feel like it's stuck. It's this creative type of sorrow. And I feel like I see, you know, angels in angelic realm around you. They're giving me almost like I'm seeing, and because I think we talked about the gothic stuff, whatever reason that's coming in, it feels like I'm seeing weeping black angels, but it's not negative. It feels to me as if these angels have been taking on a lot of the sorrow and feeding it to whatever needs to happen. So for some of you, if you're feeding a dark energy, it's going to be quite surprising how benevolent they may make you feel. Just think about that. Then I also feel as if this darker, okay, energy has been channeled for quite some time. And some of you are learning and have learned just to kind of deal with it, but you've reinvented yourself through it. For some of you, this could even be having a ceremonial funeral for your past self. I want to say like graduating into something new. For some of you, you are looking at doing for some of you, it seems like there's witchcraft or coven that might come into play. So for some of you, there could be a separation actually from a group, and you're going out on your own. And it feels really good to me. It feels like you might be a bigger part of the picture when you're sort of out on your own, if that makes sense. But if the group thing feels good, hey, go ahead. But some of you, I think, are looking to really gain some sovereignty through this sorrowful, creative flow that's happening for you. I am so intrigued. Please comment, you know, if this makes sense to you on whatever level. I would be so happy to see a conversation open up about this. And I feel like some of you are also running with Scorpio as well. So, Sun, Moon, Rising, check out those parts in your reading. And I have a card that just flipped out. This is the number 8 of Hearts, and also the number 36. And this is also the cat card, the feline card. And this feels really good. It feels as if there's a new type of energy coming in, maybe working with some of that feline energy for some of you, you know, and this would make sense too if you're doing witchcraft and that's sort of what your main belief is. Some of you have a cat that is familiar to you. But I also feel as if some of you are making some of these shifts because you may be birthing literally a child into this world, because I do feel a younger energy coming in, and this energy is going to soften and it's going to heal you. And that feels really, really nice to me. So whatever it is that you're feeling in your heart, whatever needs to be released. For some of you, this could be doing some trauma release through movement and yoga. For some of you, there's definitely some lower back, downward, maybe into your knees. I'm feeling for some of you, there could be this ache on your left side, almost not being able to pinpoint where it is, but it's on your lower leg, on the outside, so between the knee and the ankle. And for some of you too, you're starting to get some physical symptoms of just waking up from being in some dense energy as well. Your body's trying to clear, it's trying to talk to you. So if you do run with Scorpio, make sure that you listen to that reading. I actually just did that one right before yours. So for some of you here, I do have the Death card, and this is actually very transforming here. And it does feel like some of you may be caught off guard, as if you are, you know, possibly bringing a child into this world, but actually right before this has taken place, you're kind of like, do I need to move on? Do I need to go on my own? And the energy supports whatever it is that you're looking to heal in your life now. So if you stay in a relationship and you want to raise this child together, just know that if there are some core traits, toxic traits with the person that you're with, it's time to move on. This is literally, this child is a gift, and this is like permission. So if you haven't done it for yourself, the universe is saying, okay, here's a child. Are you willing to do that and hold true to what you know that that child needs that's healthy? But it's also asking you to align yourself in a reality check of, are you making more progress than the individual that you're with in this relationship? And do you clearly see that partner has hit like a brick wall and is absolutely not able to grow? Are they meeting their change and their maturity halfway? If the answer is no, then you can still, you know, raise a beautiful energy together. It's just that, don't you want to be more sovereign, and what kind of residual energy do you want left upon that child if somebody isn't making choices? For some of you, this is reality check about not using your power to power play someone either. And in the sense that the child becomes a part of your power, it's very important to not power trip other people. You run right around the Scorpio energy and also Capricorn. So there can be some of that push and pull from those sides. So for some of you here, we're probably going to switch directions, but you know, this is definitely the King of Hearts. And so for some of you, this is really trusting that you are making the correct and accurate choice for yourself. And I also think it's important to tell you that if you commit to being in a longer relationship with someone who's not working for you, you're looking at about an 8 to 12 year cycle before the next energy completely supports you that moves around. Okay, so for some of you that know that you've done a reality check and that things are actually okay, and that, you know, I see this as being a very nice contract, but the next 8 to 12 years is going to be significant to what you're locking yourself into or not. And for some of you, you might just want to be locking into doing the change and or completing some karmic lessons. So we always have a choice, don't we? All right, so the next card that I have is, I have this grandmother energy coming through, or through grandmother's side, and it's female, but that's also representing by the lily. And I literally feel, I just want to tell you this. If you're in a toxic relationship, it's time to go, okay? If you're in a toxic relationship, it's time to go. because this energy that you're carrying with you, so I feel like I'm talking predominantly to females who run the risk of becoming pregnant. This is a cycle that's going to be broken by this child no matter what. And so if some of you go through a period of time, and I could be talking to some of you who have already gone through this, and there could be a loss of a child, okay? As women, we are nurturers. So it's whatever we need to do to honor that child, okay? But toxicity is not welcome. And I think that might be the mantra coming up, is that, toxicity is not welcome. If it doesn't feel good, if it feels off in your belly button area, in your solar plexus, it's not right. It's not right. So I hope, Sagittarius, that this makes sense for you. In a way, for me, it may have felt that the energies kind of went back and forth. So Sagittarius, this is what I have for you for the month of November. I hope this makes sense. If I've touched on anything and you want to dig a little bit deeper, please visit my website at sacredcorewellness.com. You can book many different types of readings or sessions with me, and I'd be happy to dig into this a little bit more. Thanks so much for listening, and be well, Sagittarius. Bye for now.